All right, welcome back. This is MDawg. Finally got my cup of coffee for the morning. So if you were with me yesterday, we streamed the purchase of the Raptor 40, which was so fun to get that and have some good experiences. Thank you so much for the reminder that we need to get some appropriate oil on this thing, which is going to be our extra solid, I believe, is what we'll go with. How long is that going to take? 1,000 silver for oil? For grease? Okay. Okay. I mean, the part has no wear. I do want to know how much a friction brake will cost, but anyway. All right, so we got to get that sucker going, you know? So I thought while that's going to be in the shop anyway, someone in stream mentioned yesterday that actually something that's really popular, people have been doing a lot of lately at the sea, is the flying collar rig at 55. I think that's what they said. I made a note for myself. Let me make sure I'm remembering this right. Yeah, just on fillet strips. So let me think about this, because I think it has to be a boat rod, right? And I don't think I want to go. I don't know. I feel like at 55 we could catch some fairly nasty stuff. Like, yeah, this is probably what we want to use. Actually, this is probably set up about right for what we want to do. I already had this set up without realizing it. And we'll go fillet strip safe. Yeah, so I think this is what this is what we want here. Using the cardinal. All right, let me get out to 55. I'll be right back. Okay, we've made it out. Made it out to the sea. Out into the 55 meter. Oh wait, that's not the right. Okay, funny. Let me get the right rod out. We've made it out to the 55 meter bank is what I'm trying to say. So I want to do something here. What's always interesting is to figure out like what's the best way to so we're doing the flying collar rig. Couple things about the flying collar rig. You pretty much just want to let it sit in the bottom, although you can also, there's like three different, to my knowledge, three different pretty efficient ways of using this reel. You can just let it sit in the bottom layer like we're doing now. I'm so spoiled from last night's stream. Now I want to have like a backup Raptor, like to do. I don't know. It's really nice. Anyway, so and you can like move it around a little bit. Never hurts to move it. But what I want to know is like how long is this going to take a bite? Because if this is slower, then what we'll try is trolling. You can troll it really slow. We have this super heavy weight on there, so with trolling, it'll still stay really low down in the bottom layer. And then the third thing you can do, which is my least favorite, and I don't think necessarily is any better than the first two, is you can actually cast it out and then slowly retrieve it, and you often get bites that way too. So the time of day could be affecting this, but just for information, I kind of want to know how long it takes to get a bite just letting it sit in the bottom layer. We're using 6-0 hook. I should change that. Not the size, but the style. I think we're supposed to use that other type of hook when we're doing this kind of fishing. Let's change that really quick. The flying collar rig, and especially using some of the lures that you use with the flying collar rig, I think it benefits from is it Aberdeen? It's a different style of hook. Man, it's tempting to throw on a Venga instead of this reel that we're using, the Cardinal. It's not that much different. I mean, I don't know what kind of fish we're going to be catching. I'd have to find a Venga. All right, first of all, let's do this. Yeah. Oh, that's 4-0. Here it is. The Vinga just reels faster. That's why I'm saying that. Even, because we're at 55, it's a little different than being like at, 30 or 34, 41 even. You can feel that time a little more. The nice thing about the Cardinal is it's a little stronger, and we have double gear ratio to help get us, keep us in the fight if we happen to hook into something, more of a monster than we're expecting. So now we've got it in there. Let's see what happens. It's way too slow, isn't it? I could be wrong, but I just have this feeling that trolling may be the answer. This feels like, from based on what I had heard about how this was going out here, this surprises me that it's going this slowly. All right, there it is. Huh. Don't really want to lock it up. I don't think we need to. I think it was just because it was on the bottom still. Just kind of fun. Yeah, we could just force it in, but kind of neat to actually like interact with the fish a little bit. So this would be forcing it in just to kind of lock it up and just reel through the fish's strength, uh, basically using the weight of our mech and the full strength of the line versus using the strength of the brake as it is on 29 versus locked up. All right, what have we stumbled into here, by the way? All right, here we go. See what we got here. Oh, that's a nice fish. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try trolling. One thing I like about trolling in this kind of situation too is that, wait, am I doing this wrong? We have to get the boat moving before I throw it out. So we'll do one more not trolling, is what I meant to say, apparently. One thing I like about trolling, especially in this kind of situation where 55 is pretty big, you can, you're fishing in a, you're changing where you're fishing throughout the whole bank. And it's big enough that you can do slow turns and stuff. So it's pretty efficient place to troll. All right, that was much quicker that time. So it may have just been sort of the time. Wait, what's a crap reel? The Cali 40. Oh, interesting. Yo, nice trophy, Fit Face. Little haddock. Okay. So this is how we're going to troll. We get behind the captain's seat. I guess we get in the captain's seat, not behind it. And then we get moving. We're trolling now. Then we can cast it in. I don't like having the light on. And so now we're slowly moving forward. We wait till it to get to the bottom again. And now we want to close it and hopefully make sure it's staying on in the bottom layer here. So we're still basically doing the same thing. It's just we're slowly dragging it across the bottom at about 3 kilometers per hour. And this often does pretty well, just like what we were doing before in stirring up some bites. But you also are moving around, so you get to kind of see other places. I suppose if you wanted to be strategic with it, when you catch a fish, you could stop and fish in that same spot for a few casts or something, if it felt like maybe that's a place where there's going to be a better bite rate. You know, like, okay, so we caught a fish right here. What if we stop the trolling? We saw some fish on the radar anyway. And once we get this out, we'll just recast here and see how that goes. We don't have anything on sonar anymore, but we can still trust that. Ooh, spotted wolf. That's nice. We can still trust that this spot might be good. So let's throw it back in without trolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's overnight, but I think I'm gonna just keep trolling after this. But I do think it's worth, like, it might be worth doing this some. But you also could just keep trolling. Trolling seems to work pretty good, usually, in my experience at least. Still not too bad, though. Another wolf fish. All right, so we hit trolling first, then we throw it back out. Okay. Ooh. Okay, European place. Okay, now why that is interesting is if you look at challenges for marine fishing, we still need to catch one of these trophies with flying collar rig, which happens to be what we're using right now. So when some of the flatfish are active, you at least have a chance of, one of these thousands of fish could end up being a trophy flatfish that gives you that challenge. Nice trophy rough nom. Reminds me we got to start our new leveling series soon. He caught that trophy rough on bait fish. Wow. We need to start turning if we don't want to go out of the 55 bank. I like how many wolffish we're catching. The nice thing is when we're trolling, we can still fish while we're turning. But wolffish are pretty good silver. They're fun to catch. They're interesting fish. There's like what 3 different types of wolffish I believe in the game now. So that's a fun species that seems to be active at 55 on this type of fishing. That's cool. There's a little bit of wind. I'm wondering if the troll speed will speed up a little or slow down or what it'll do when we're heading the other direction. It actually may not affect the speed because the wind was coming from the west. And we're going to be traveling now towards the north. So we've been going south. So I doubt that the little bit of wind that we have is that significant for our trolling speed. Kind of blowing across us at a mild rate. Hey, it's a spiny dogfin. Or whatever it was. I could not remember the name of that fish yesterday. Said it's something weird. Somebody caught 2 trophies out here. Not on this setup. They were using big stuff, but somebody had 2 trophies pretty close together on those spinies. Which they're worth a ton of silver. The trophies are. So a little cusk. I mean, the bite rate is really good, and plus, it's so shallow, we get fish in relatively quickly in terms of what you normally see in the sea. So, in not much time, we've caught several fish. I mean, this seems like this is probably a pretty good way to make silver, pretty good way to make XP, level up sea fishing wherever you are in that. Seems like a pretty good, interesting way to fish on the sea right now. I'm not sure that there's tons of spots that are just like spectacular. There's always plenty, but I'm not sure that as many spots stand out as they do sometimes. So this is probably a good thing to consider at least. Ooh, it's a sculpin. Again, very nice bite rate. Interesting. Ooh, that was a cusk. Okay. We're almost out of the 55, so we're trying to stay in in the confines. I think we're good now, the direction we're on. Yeah, we're still going about the same speed that we did the other direction. Be slightly faster at the moment, but not by much. Oh, another place. Oh, it got away. I guess I was a little slow, but it also just might have just gotten away anyway. But we did have a little tension there before it FGA'd. Okay. Yeah, we're averaging 2 to 3 minutes per fish. It's not. That's pretty fast on the ocean, I think. Okay. See how quickly this fish comes, and we'll either do maybe this might be the last one, or maybe we'll do one more after it. We'll see. Well, this one is taking a while. Yeah, this is like twice as long as it has been. Good to realize that you can have these like really long periods of time with no bite. We are going slower now. It has slowed us down a little bit, but not by much. And I mean, that's not been consistent. So, okay, this is embarrassing, but I suddenly realize what's happening here. Some of y'all might have already seen this coming. If you remember, several minutes ago, we had an FGA. Because we're actually using the fillets, that took the bait. So we've literally been trolling an Aberdeen 6/0 hook with no lure or bait on it these last 6 minutes, 8 minutes, whatever it is. How embarrassing. 9 minutes. So forget the last 9 minutes. It's not that the bite rate slowed down, it's that we weren't fishing with any lure or bait. All right, there we go. Okay. I guess we'll get one more fish since I fished without a bait for so long. This will be something small, maybe another sculpin or something. Oh, a dab. Okay, we see our second flatfish variety. That was fast. Hake, that's cool. Yeah, the bite rate is really good out here. I apologize. I completely user error made it seem like the bite rate was not that good during that 10-minute portion of time, but it actually is really good out here. Ooh, a nice little whiting. That's cool. Okay. let's just see. It's not going to be like crazy silver, but I mean, if you make basically, I don't know, did we quite get 30 minutes of fishing in? It's hard because you got to take out that 10 minutes. It's less than 30 minutes. You could certainly sort of multiply this times two, and maybe by like 2.5 would be more accurate. Nothing in the cafe, so we're just going to get a straight silver amount. And it's still 265. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I mean, if y'all have been doing this regularly, you may have a better estimate. But I'm going to say you're at least going to get 600 silver an hour. Doesn't that sound right based on kind of what we're seeing here? Well, I mean, this is not enough data for that to be a reliable guess. What if you don't get wolffish this size? Like, for instance, if we took this fish off, that pretty dramatically changes. So maybe I should say 500 silver is maybe a safer per hour, but you're going to go over that some hours for certain. Anyway, that was fun. I think it's always cool when there's something fun to do with flying collar rig, because if you're going for those challenges, you just sort of know you're going to have to catch a ton of them. And of course, we are still waiting for just under 16 more hours to get our raptor out. But as always, thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.